And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, and the twins Ellie and Emmy. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy all together. One day, the king of Tripleville's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Tripleville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Stripling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are... Tasha said, He's going to marry me. Hannah said, No way, Tasha. He's going to marry me. Rena said, Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Ellie said, All 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Emmy said, Are you kidding, sister? He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad because she cannot go to the ball. Suddenly, Cinderella's fairy godmother asks what's wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Stripling. The fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word. Triply, trappily, triply, true. And then Cinderella's chores are all done, but the fairy godmother said, She's not done. He then said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 3 pumpkins. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Triply, trappily, troppily, true. And then the 3 pumpkins turned into a handsome coach drawn by 6 strong horses. And then Cinderella's do-rag and red dress turned into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a triple-tastic crown and gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. The fairy godmother said, Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Stripling was wondering who he should marry. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy say all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. But he's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Stripling dance together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she's running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Stripling was so worried. He afraid that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Tripleville to find her and brought the tiny glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where Cinderella and her ugly, mean stepsisters lived. Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Tasha first. Hannah second. Rena third, and the twins last, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Stripling noticed Cinderella singing. She exclaimed, Prince Stripling, is that you? Prince Stripling said, Of course it's me. Freela gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Tripling back. And he doesn't need to put on the glass slipper back on Freela's foot because it's so uncomfortable. And they both live happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doers! Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents 33rella for the Frieza 1300 episode special. As the title suggests, it is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman girl named 33rella. 33rella had 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Tilly, Hallie, Ruby, Erin, and Emily. All 11 of them made fun of 33rella and made her do all the chores. 33, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tasha to Emily all together. One day, the king of Troubleville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye! Hear ye! The king of Troubleville's royal majesty is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Treasure Toppling. Can I come? asked 33rella. But she is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Tasha, the oldest stepsister. But her younger stepsisters disagree. They even tear 33rella's dress. And her best party dress. Later, 33rella is so sad, distraught and upset about not going to the ball, marrying Prince Treasure Toppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother rises and comforts her. 33rella, there now, my dear. 33rella, she said, I'll fix everything for you. She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 33rella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 33rella, my dear, go fetch me a pumpkin and some ice. Luckily, 33rella has 33 pumpkins and 66 mice. 33rella, fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 33 pumpkins into a handsome coach. The 66 mice into horses and fixes 33rella's torn dress and makes it bigger and better. 33rella said, I've never seen such a Treasure Toppling-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers, fairy godmother. How can I ever thank you enough? And climbed into the coach. 33rella's fairy godmother said, Well, you can't, but have fun, 33rella, my dear. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. And so, 33rella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Troubleville, who is very kind, wise, etc., says, Good evening, everyone. My son, Prince Treasure Toppling, was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Trey responds, "Yes, father." Suddenly, 30 arrived at the ball just in time. "He's walking towards me," say Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Hallie, Ruby, Aaron, and Emily all together. But Prince Tupling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 33rella. Prince Tupling then says, "May I have this dance?" In which 33rella responds, "I would be delighted." And so 33rella and Prince Tupling dance happily together. But later, 33rella checks her clock, and it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Tupling was really worried that he might never see 33rella again. The king of Troubleville comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 33rella, my dear daughter-in-law." And so, the king of Troubleville and Prince Tupling began their journey all around Troubleville to find 33rella and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knock on the door of the house where 33rella and her 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 33rella, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, Tasha and Emily. Prince Tupling then said, "Ladies, my father, the king of Troubleville, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. Hilda is next, but her foot is too small." "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. "The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size." Suddenly, the king of Troubleville and Prince Tupling noticed 33rella singing. "Your Majesty and Prince Tupling, is that you guys?" she hollered excited. "The glass slipper fits!" And 33rella and the king of Troubleville and Prince Tupling lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And I've been debating on making the sequels. So if you want to see maybe someday 33rella 2, 33 Wishes Come True, something like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. Buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 331rella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a twist, that is. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 331rella. 331rella had 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Allie, Amy, Hilda, Ursula, Natalie, Dahlia, Ramona, Ezra, Daisy, Tilly, Harriet, Isabella, Rosalina, Terry, Yeva, Irina, Olive, Nina, and Esme. All 23 of them made 331rella do all the chores, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all. Set them all together. One day, the king of Double 31ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of Double 31ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Trinja into Trimilupling. But 331 Arella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Tasha. No, oh wait, Tasha, you're wrong. He's going to marry me, said Hannah. Rena said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. The rest said, all three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later. 331 is so sad, doing chores that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Untrigen Taha Trimilupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks for 331 over what's wrong by saying, why are you crying, 331 Arella? In which 331 responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Untrigen Trimilupling. But I have lots of chores to be done. 331 Arella. His fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She chants the magic words. Double, triple, single, toilet trouble, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 331 Arella's chores are all done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 331 Arella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 331 Arella is 331 pumpkins and 662 mice. 331 Arella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, double, triple, single, toilet trouble, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 331 Arella's 331 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 662 mice into horses, and the 331 Arella's ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 331 Arella said, I've never seen such a 330 wonderful gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 331 Arella's fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun, 331 Arella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. 331 Arella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Untrigen Trimilupling said, who should I marry? And suddenly, 331 Arella walks in. He's walking towards me, said her 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 330 Arella. Prince Untrigen Trimilupling then asks, may I have this dance? In which 331 responds, I would be delighted. 331 Arella and Prince Untrigen Trimilupling get happily together. But when 331 Arella checks her clock, it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Untrigen Trimilupling was so worried that he might never see 331 Arella again. So he traveled all around Double Free Oneville to find her, and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where 331 and her 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters live. But instead of 331 Arella, he finds her 23 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Untrigen Trimilupling then said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. Hannah is next, but her foot is too small. But she said, nonsense, it fits. The rest are the same, but none of the feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Undrajaj Trimalaflame notices 330 Wanderella singing. Prince Undrajaj is that you? Hollered 331 Wanderella excitedly. 330 Wanderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Undrajaj and Jacinta try Malapling back, and the glass slipper fits! And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and it does everything. And buy our merchandise, etc. And I've been making the sequels a bit of a tradition. So, if you want to see maybe someday 331 rather 2 331 wishes come true, tell your friends about it. And take care, Andrews Doers. Bye. And good night, everybody. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, or don't let the monsters give you a fright.